so
No.
weird.
Kids in the
Please
house
stop
can't even
grunting.
indulge.
No more
Can't
grunting.
even indulge my
Wait,
only
is-
pleasure, which is walking
Wait a
around in my
minute.
underwear, manipulating random objects.
No more.
Is this a
that's enough.
bathroom that has one toilet and nothing else? There's no
Yes.
sink?
Yes.
This actually looks like a mall bathroom.
What the fuck?
It doesn't even
You
have
wash
a
your-
toilet
you
paper
flush,
holder.
and then you wash your hands. That's all I'm gonna say, John.
Did they just draw, like, was it as a closet and someone just put a toilet in there? Didn't even hook it up or anything?
I genuinely wonder how much of this is just a result of, like, European developers trying to make an American home.
They got wash. He's got a laundry room though. That's pretty cool.
The
Like, it would not
Americans
surprise
do
me-
not wash their hands after they use the bathroom.
It wouldn't surprise me if in France you had, like, houses that were literally almost 200 years old that got, you know, a bathroom converted into it where there's just a toilet in a room. Whereas in America, that doesn't really exist.
It's true. When I was looking for a house, I saw one that had a basement, and in the middle of the basement was a toilet.
That is weird.
It was creepy.
I had a question about this game that came up just now. Oh yeah, where does this game take place?
Liberty City.
Yeah, does it ever specify?
I can't remember.
I'll look at
Vancouver is my guess.
It looks like it was filmed in Vancouver.
Wait, so it's not an American...
Do you want me to get your dinner?
Vancouver, we'll
Oh,
take
yeah,
them.
I'm
Maybe
really
they don't want to
hungry.
take us, but we'll
Okay,
take
I'll
them.
go see what I can find. I'll call you when
Yes,
it's
we're
ready.
announcing that we're taking Vancouver.
There
Philadelphia.
are buds. Ah,
This is set in
Philadelphia.
Philadelphia?
Oh,
What?
explains a lot.
Oh my god, I need a crossover. It's always sunny in Philadelphia in this game.
Okay, I take that back. There's a New York Times article that claims that it's set in the rundown autumnal precincts of Philadelphia, but when you go to the Heavy Rain wiki, which I imagine the fan nerds are more precise, the city is an otherwise unnamed city in which Heavy Rain takes place.
Okay, let's Philly then.
I love that the guy who did the review was like, let me think of the worst fucking city I can think of. Philly.
Like, seriously, what about Pittsburgh?
David Cage went to Philadelphia to research the setting.
I'm being
only
mean.
to Philadelphia.
I've been to
He didn't go to, like,
Philadelphia.
Cleveland.
It's got great food, great people. They make donuts fresh. It's a good place.
Okay, so
Oh, yeah, Philadelphia is great.
okay, so the It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia episode of Heavy Rain.
You can come now,
Obviously, one of the
The
subplots
meal
is
is
that
ready.
everyone thinks that Dennis is the origami killer.
Oh, yeah.
Turns out that Charlie
Wait.
has had the kid in his basement the entire time.
We made
Okay.
dinner just for Sean, and we're just not going to eat.
So looking it up,
We're
there's
just going to stare at him.
the answer is it's extraordinarily confused. There are hints that it's placed in Philly because there's a lot of references to areas around Philly, but there is no decision that it is in Philly, and also the area codes that get dropped are not in Philly. So it just is a confused mishmash of, like, vaguely maybe Pennsylvania, but also maybe just a fictional place.
They should have just added, like, in one of these scenes, like, of our character staring gloomily at the Formica in the background through the dingy window. There's just a dude who, like, drops a bundle and he's just, like, loudly but kind of muffled through the window. Ah, drop my fucking cheesesteak!
What areas around Philly are mentioned? Because I, like, lived in Allentown, Pennsylvania for, like, 8 years.
Hold on,
so
let me
I'm
get it back.
kind of... it's not that close to Philadelphia, but it's like an hour away.
Hey, if anybody's from Philadelphia in the comments, or, like, just knows about this generally, what's up with Cheez Whiz and the Philly cheesesteaks? I don't know if I've ever had it. I don't get it.
So
The traditional way of doing
here's
it.
here's the list of things that give away the location according to the wiki. One of the signs on the highway depicted in the concept art for, quote, fugitive, unquote, indicates
What do you say
Philadelphia.
we play
The others
Philadelphia?
indicate Plymouth Meeting, which is a part of Plymouth, a township in Pennsylvania not far from Philadelphia. The letter sent to Ethan Mars in Father and Son is addressed to Camden, presumably Camden, New Jersey, which is directly across the Delaware River from Philadelphia. One of the footprints that Norman Jaden can analyze belongs to a police officer who lives in Sharswood,
happy watching
a North
TV.
Philadelphia
Might
neighborhood.
as well leave him
If
there for a
Ethan turns on the TV in his room before opening the shoebox in the motel, Glenn Sanders
How are
reports
things
that
at
a
the
child
school?
disappeared from the Stanton
teacher
district,
nice?
which is in northern Philadelphia. I can keep listing more if you want, but there's just lots of offhanded name drops of Philadelphia. So it's that area implicitly, but it never says.
Again, why not Pittsburgh? Pittsburgh sucks more than Philadelphia.
I don't know if Europeans know that.
I don't think. I think that we
It's probably
really.
true.
It's very important that we do not just make this a series about like naming the worst American cities, because that could easily.
I
be
thought
the
I was
worst.
gonna hate Philly. Philly's amazing.
For the record.
Listen, I was raised on the West Coast, which means I have an aversion to the East Coast just in general. But when I went to Philadelphia, I had a great time, ate a lot of great food, did not have one single Philly cheesesteak, actually. Was too busy eating other
Come
stuff.
on, Sean.
The
It's
East
time for
Coast
bed.
is lovely.
I'm not
It's
tired
wonderful.
yet.
There's like so many great cities, so much great culture, food, heritage.
All right, we'll wait a little before
The
going to
one
bed.
downside is all the people
Don't
sitting
say
around
anything to your
saying,
mother, okay?
you know, people on the East Coast, we're not nice, but we are kind. Whereas people on the West Coast.
So I just want to
Finish
point out
having a
that
conversation with them and then just do this.
David Cage did follow up this game eventually with a game titled Detroit. I just want to point that out. So there's a fascination
Good point.
there
That's a great
with
point,
Come on, Sean.
actually.
with
Time
with
for bed.
bad American cities.
We're not going there.
French-
Not going to that
French
one.
people hit me up in the comments about with a bunch of terrible French cities, so I can make a bunch
All
of
right,
games
we'll wait a
set
little
there.
before going to bed. But don't say anything to your mother.
I mean,
I promise to visit them.
A
So I
lot
can
of
make
them
a
are just
game
going to
for-
say Paris.
Yeah.
Like, in my experience, pretty much anyone who doesn't live in Paris hates Parisians.
You know what? I said French people. I'm actually gonna walk that back. Any European who's been to France can weigh in on this one. I don't think we need to treat France with kid gloves. It's okay. Open up the weight category.
The yard, which is just the saddest fucking yard.
I mean, it's sad in the sense that
Universe.
it looks depressing right
This-
now, but it's a pretty big fucking yard.
The worst
Paris
part
just
about
does look
this,
very much like Pennsylvania.
he could really do some stuff with the house, the interior of the house. He could do some stuff
Yeah.
with this
Yeah.
yard, and he just chooses not to.
Yeah, or maybe he's broke. Who knows?
Or depressed. That's true.
I mean, he's broke and depressed.
It's probably all of those.
All of these things.
Dude needs some Lexapro and a sugar mama. That's what he needs.
Dude does have a wire basket full of fruit, though.
Like the lady from Nashville. She could be my sugar mama.
I feel like if we were shooting for
I'm
6
holding
hours,
down
we
the
had to be out
thoughts
of this scene
button.
20 minutes ago.
I don't know. I'm holding down the thought button. Nothing's popping up.
I mean, that sounds like Joel.
Joel is just head empty. How do we progress time here? Like, what am I supposed to do?
You're supposed to
I
go to
think I
the
was supposed to
schedule.
send him to bed.
Go to the schedule. Make sure
Oh.
you've done everything on the schedule.
Nah.
And once he's done his homework and he's eaten,
I feel like it's important to let people know that any given moment you're watching right now is the happiest moment of the rest of Joel Mars's life. Wait, it's Ethan Mars, right?
Ethan's the kid. Joel is the adult, right? Or am I? No, that's Sean.
No, the kid is Sean.
Come on, little man.
Oh my
Yeah,
god.
it's Ethan Mars.
Who's Ethan?
Where did we get? That's Joel is from Last of Us.
No,
Yeah,
Joel
I was
is
gonna
the-
say that's weird. That
Who called him Joel first? Because now I want to know. Because I assumed his name was Joel because someone else said it.
I'll never tell.
Is there not a character
I do
named
think
Joel in
that
a
was
David
Rutskarn,
Cage
though.
game?
I don't think that there's a single character named Joel in any David Cage game. Oh no, that was that's right. That was David Bowie's character's name.
The
in Omicron,
robot.
the Nomad Soul.
The robot.
Was it?
The
God, I
robot.
I forgot.
Yeah, the robot, he was like, am I human? I don't know. My name's Joel.
Alright, my dance.
Well, we didn't get his homework done, so let's just grab it and just rip it up.
If there had been a scene in Detroit Become Human where a character just said, "Am I human?" and then he said, "Or am I dancer?" and then he immediately looked at the camera and said, "Fuck," and then the game like hard quit to PS4 menu and uninstalled itself, I think I probably would have respected the authorship on that one.
If I ever made a game, that's what I would do.
I like the owl pillow we gave him. So we put up some posters. Wait a minute. So like, okay, this is a kid's room already, I guess, and it just like it looks really shitty because all the wallpaper's peeling.
Oh my
It'd
god.
be really funny to imagine that we put up peeling wallpaper.
I hear what you're saying, but we just put a blanket over an NPC. When was the last time you saw a blanket go over a character model in a video game?
I can't tell if you're making fun of me or not.
Why is there a
Hang on.
painting of a Maquis
Okay.
Raider from
I'm-
Star Trek shooting lasers on that wall?
I am seeing here that Heavy Rain did have a 40 million euro budget, and that 15 million euro was required to make the blanket go over the NPC.
I fucking knew it.
Oh, we're getting the horror vision.
This
horror
is what I was
vision?
talking about. Well, David Cage, when he goes into genre, he goes stupid into genre. And, like, Indigo Prophecy suffered from this, too. Where it suddenly became like there were ghosts attacking you, and there were QuickTime events constantly. This is the visions you get as Ethan.
Whoa.
Wait, we're getting
You know-
visions?
I'm looking forward to all the mean comments, because I was calling him Joel, because somebody else said his name was Joel.
I'll never tell. How does he know about this origami killer? Is he
Because
psychic?
He's been striking.
Oh, I know what it is. I won't say.
it's because Edward James Olmos is actually the one in control of his brain.
Who's that guy?
It's
It's the guy
Deep
who
cut.
makes the origami unicorn in Blade Runner.
It's the Blade Runner reference.
Which one does he look like? Is he the tall blonde one?
He's the stand and
he's
deliver
not
guy.
one of the... Yeah, he's the...
And the
Dolph
dude who
Lundgren?
supposedly like got a film crew member murdered.
What?
Edward James almost made a movie about an actual gang, and he made some shit up
Warriors?
for it. And no, it was like a real Latino gang, and he made some shit up, and somebody got murdered on it, basically. And everybody told
I have
him,
not
"You
heard of
can't
this."
do this." Edward James almost, this is a terrible idea. Somebody's gonna die, and he's like, I'm pretty sure it's gonna be fine. It was not fine. Danny Trejo is like very eager to, like, very happy to drag him on this shit, because Danny Trejo was one of the people who's like, this is a terrible idea.
Whoa.
I mean, this is all Danny Trejo's account of it, so, I mean, take it with a grain
I
of
would
salt,
trust
I guess.
him.
But
No, I will
Yeah.
not take it with a grain of salt.
Lauren Winter. Ring any bells?
Nope, can't say it does.
Looked like
Straight
that guy
up.
Hey,
was
look at this!
asking-
Some guy whose kid died has a shitty house.
Oh, that Lauren Winter.
I really enjoy the idea that a $5 bribe was enough to do the job. Like, even in 2010, how did you not just like have a $5 bill dropped on you and just be like, what the fuck is this for? You think I'm gonna go to the vending machine, get a Snickers bar? Fuck you.
You
It's
know,
probably
I
enough to
would
get a
do a lot for
cheesesteak.
$5, honestly. Like, oh, okay, fine. What? No skin off my nose.
I feel like if you're gonna do something for $5, you probably would have also done it for, like, again, something from the snack machine.
If I had
You know
a
what's really
snack machine- No, $5 anyway.
Go ahead.
I remember what this guy said.
No, go ahead.
I was gonna say, what's probably really sad is that this guy has a shittier house than Ethan has now.
Yeah, from the beginning, like, of the game, this is sort of my favorite character. I like, you know, I really quickly came to like this guy's shtick in these scenes. He's just
I
kind of
mean,
like
is he just a noir detective?
Lord Winter.
he's
Sorry,
kind of
I
like
was
a
clients by appointment.
pseudo Columbo lawyer detective.
Don't say that. Don't ever fucking say he's not like Columbo.
No,
he doesn't even
he's
come
not.
close to Columbo.
Is that her?
not
Is that the
nearly
I
as
don't
actress?
kiss and I don't do any weird shit.
Fine by
Oh
me.
yeah,
Which
that's
one?
a chick.
I think that's the lady from the demo.
Yes.
So for what we're talking about, there was a demo released in 2006, way before this game came out,
Put your money on the
that
table.
was basically
You
a
got
proof of
exactly
concept
10
for the
minutes
rendering
for my
tech,
lines. It's
and it was basically a weird job interview where a lady interviewed for the position of Madison, I think, and it was not the person who ended up getting the role, but it was basically a E3 style proof of concept. Look at how realistic our people are. That might be the person who played her.
I think so.
She plays one of the three classic David Cage female roles, which is sex worker, sexually menaced, and angry woman.
Yeah, David Cage can't write women.
You should take your clothes off. We ain't got all day.
Actually, I'm not a customer.
Shit, a cop. I should have known. What you want, a freebie? Is that it?
My name is
I,
Scott
I think that
Shelby.
is
I'm a
her.
private
I'm
detective.
listening to them side by
The
side. I
families of
think
the
it might be
victims
her.
of the
The
origami
model
killer
is
asked me to
higher
investigate
resolution
the
and nicer,
murders.
but
I came here just to ask you some questions about Johnny.
I already told the police all I know and I have nothing to add. Leave me alone.
I understand, Lauren.
I like the way that your like little
I know what you're
moodlet, thoughtlet things
Oh,
go
yeah?
around your head
You know
in
what it
circles.
feels like to find your own son's body on a wasteland?
I like it because it kind of
I'm sorry,
forces
I don't
you to
believe you have the
think
slightest
about.
idea what I'm going through, Mr.
You have to
Shelby.
search for your thoughts the way the character has to search for their thoughts. Except you're literally searching the screen for what you want to see.
The killer
Say.
is walking around.
Yeah,
free
like
as
there's
we
a
speak.
lot of some
He'll kill
little
again if he's not
innovations in this
arrested.
game that
Johnny's dead, so what
on
difference
stuff
does
like
it
that
make?
that really was like extremely not iterated upon or
If we
like
don't find the
explored.
killer, there'll be other mothers who
And
find
that
their
I really
son's
do think
body
is
on a
cool
deserted
and like
wasteland.
generally represents a lot of skill and talent on
But-
the
but you're
part of the
right.
developers.
Why should you care? It's not your
Body
problem
on a
anymore,
deserted
right?
wasteland. That is a very strange turn of phrase.
This game has a lot of things like
Hey,
that.
Lady D.
Where it's like this line was probably not written in English originally.
What do you want to know?
If I ever like got
Tell me about Johnny.
a budget to make my dream Paranoia
What kind of
video
kid was
game
he?
adaptation,
Johnny was really a
whenever
good
you're in a
boy.
debriefing or tense situation, your
Sometimes
dialogue options would appear and then immediately
thought
start
whatever
like
kids
moving
call
towards
me.
opposite corners of the screen as the timer counts down.
In his own way, I think he understood what was going on.
See, I love this because you really get her digital performance capture, but then you also have an entire
did
screen
your
for
son
sort of the
disappear?
gameplay.
He used to
Yeah,
go play with
yeah,
the
like
neighborhood
that's
kids
another
after
example
school.
of like. I don't think
It
that
was
you can
fine,
really
that was
point to
something
like
awful that day.
a bunch of games that did increasingly
I'll never forget it.
like interesting versions of this, and then this is kind of like.
All his friends.
I think that
came
this
home
game
around
really
five.
did just kind of come out swinging really
Oh, it's
hard,
okay.
with a lot of like leaps forward in how you could tell this kind of story in a video game.
Well, I mean, to be fair, this sort of stuff existed
What would-
in like Indigo Prophecy
thanks,
slash
you're cool.
Fahrenheit. I don't think it worked
brave.
as well because you can't do things like this because you didn't have this like beautiful motion capture for Fahrenheit. So like what Fahrenheit did was like in the opening scene where like you're in a bathroom and you wake up in front of a dead body and you got to hide it. They would the cross cut,
Tell
the
me
other
about
frame was
Johnny's
like
father.
a cop sipping coffee going like I got to go to the bathroom and he's like, "Oh shit, I got to hide this body now." And you sort of like one panel is following the cop as he walks towards you and the other panel is you trying desperately to hide this evidence. That worked really well, but you couldn't do anything like this with this like
Did you
gorgeous
suspect
facial
anyone
capture.
after he disappeared?
You know, like Indigo Prophecy
I
came
knew a
out
lot
5
of
years
pretty
earlier
shady
than this,
characters in my
and
line of work.
it's night and day. Like,
Sure, I thought it
probably
would
the
be
budget
first.
had something to do with it too. But Indigo Prophecy, like, I mean,
But
it
it
looked
didn't seem
like
to make any
every
sense.
game looked like in 2005, whereas this was
I don't believe any of my clients.
starting to get to the point where, like, okay,
Could've
now
done
if you
that.
have money, you can make a game
Why,
look
Johnny?
like a movie, the movie you have in your
And
head,
all those other kids.
Right.
and not like not like a Grand Theft Auto San Andreas mod.
Time's up, Mr. Shelby. I hope you got what you wanted. Now get out of here.
Don't feel like we got very far with those questions.
But yeah, like this definitely is like an underrepresented noir kind of character. Like people remember the hard-boiled descendants
Well, if you
that
remember
like
anything,
were kind of like
smallest
noir
detail.
novels that felt like hard-boiled novels, where it's
call.
like a kind of a hyper-competent, smart, sharp as a whip detective that like kind of can really
Which is
handle
Columbo.
himself.
Yeah.
Exactly.
It actually
whereas-
is. Like,
I mean,
like
it is,
Columbo's
it is, but,
actually,
like-
yeah.
But like a lot of noir detectives are just kind of more like this guy,
Yeah.
especially in like more modern noir, where it's like he's not a big badass or anything.
No, I'd say even like old Raymond Chandler noir, like it was very much this dude who was stumbling through a case who at the end didn't even get what he needed to get. Like, I don't know. I think this is a really good like character of what the Gumshoe is supposed to be. Like,
Yeah.
it's not a Sherlock, it's not a Columbo pretending to be a bumbling guy. It's actually some dude just stumbling through stuff.
Yeah, he's just kind of like he's walking his beat and he's hoping for the best, you know.
Yeah.
I have a thing. This is a tangent, but like when I'm explaining how to play the role-playing game Fate Core, where you kind of like get to pick your own skills in like a tree. One thing I like to do to explain how it works and like how you create your character by choosing the appropriate skills
Is everything all right?
is I like to like
swell.
I forgot there is menace for this one character as well, of course. So yeah, all right, time to do quick time event combat.
We are gonna do.
Whoa.
No, I dashed out of this. Come on. So a cool thing about this game is that you can lose pretty much every quick time event. As far as I can remember, at least. Fuck your shitty shower.
What? Oh, come on.
But one thing I like to do to explain how Fate Core skill picking works is I like to go through and like talk about a bunch of detectives from fiction, talk about like all these characters are detectives, but they all have different top skills. Like they all have different like
Right.
high skills in Fate. So like, and Raymond Chandler from like Raymond Chandler's Philip Marlowe character, like I feel like his top skill is just like empathy.
Oh yeah.
Like it's his main thing is that he basically just like talks to people and lets them and listens to them and lets them jabber on. He just
God,
kind of
this
like
just
runs his bullshit
keeps
detector.
going.
Yeah.
I mean, this isn't as bad as some God of War ones, but yeah.
No,
Compare that
but
to fucking Sam Spade. His main skill is deceit because Sam Spade just lies to everybody and that's his whole thing. That's how he solves crimes. He just fucking lies.
What was yours for Sherlock?
Sherlock is investigate.
Well, then what about
Actually-
Columbo?
Oh, actually, hang on. I think I have that backwards. Like, oh yeah, so Columbo is rapport, which is the diplomacy skill, where you're just like his whole thing is that like he would have a stunt that like lets him just
Better
like
than him, I guess.
ingratiate himself to people with rapport
Alex
that gives him
Klein thinks he
bonuses
owns
to
me.
his investigate
He
checks.
was getting violent, and
Yeah.
I told him I didn't want to see him anymore.
Well, you should be careful.
But yeah, and then Franny Fisher is actually she
Sorry
was
about
my
the mess.
investigate pick, and then Sherlock was like
Mr.
notice, which
Shelby.
is the passive version of investigate.
Yeah.
Thanks.
Okay. So when you do that, like Sherlock, I mean, it's tough because Sherlock like has a sidekick that also has perks, I guess, that is crucial to solving crimes, I feel.
So Watson is academics because that's the medicine skill.
Ah, okay.
So until Dawn totally ripped this part off, right?
Yes.
The dude looking around.
Well, Josh, are you in control of this?
I don't think so.
Okay, because until Dawn, you can make them look around, and
Yeah.
that's
That was a real innovation.
if you go back and watch that,
this-
we spent a good 10 minutes just dicking with those eyes.
Dicking with those eyes.
I don't
is
know
the name
what's
of my
happening.
romance
God
novel.
Like-
Damn it. I knew as soon as I said it, I shouldn't have said it.
We're also coming up on time. Well, actually, we're a bit over time. 17 minutes.
Well, we
over.
could
Well,
call it here.
Didn't feel like a good
This is
spot
gonna
to
be a fun
stop.
place to
Yeah.
come back next week because this is one of the most fun characters. Actually, this is just the most fun character, straight up.
Oh my god, is it time?
Is this Joel?
Oh my god.
It's
oh my
time.
god.
It's time.
Oh, better take your drugs.
Take your future drugs. Oh yeah, so one thing
Oh,
you need to
no,
know about this game is that it's a science fiction game, but only for this character.
He's the
God damn it,
best
David
character in
Cage.
the game.
This character does not belong in this fucking game.
Josh, let's quit
at
now.
all.
Let's leave him in the car. Let's not reveal who it is until next week. Let's just leave it here with this mystery character in the car.